EMEDITH Consulting provides teenagers with the chance to learn in a safe and fun environment, an environment that encourages them to set goals, to achieve their dreams, to reset those goals where they need to, and most importantly, to continuously believe that they can always be the best that they can be. It is 21st century soft skills that we are trying to put forward. It is evident that academic qualification is definitely not good enough in the climate we find ourselves. So there is a real need to supplement the academic qualifications with soft skills and self-motivation. Motivation is lacking in the society we live, and people need people to stimulate them to get the best out of themselves. So we try to enable them achieve their potentials. We try to enable them maximize these potentials, and most importantly, we give them the power to shine. We take great pride in the quality of our sessions. They're unique, they're unconventional, and one of a kind. These session presentations are developed by experts with years of experience. So we sit hand in hand with experts, organizational capability experts who have been in the educational sector for a long time, and ensure that the language of our sessions are tailored specifically for teenagers, young adults, and students.
It was so natural. I didn't feel like I was being preached at, like stereotyped motivational speakers. I didn't feel like I was in school. It was very real, very practical. I just felt like he was talking to, although there were several of us, but I felt like he was connecting with me, like he was talking to me directly.
It's a long session. It has a lot of things to teach you at once, but it's interesting that throughout the length of time, you still concentrate and you still get everything he wants you to get. It has that thing to impact powerfully and do it well.
His style of teaching is very engaging, interactive sessions, not just only him talking throughout at the session, but it gives the people time and chance to express themselves, what they feel, what they understand, and that is very interesting, and that's why I think his style of teaching is one of the best.
He carries you along. He's right there in your face.
Very playful when it's time to play, and when it's time to be serious, it's always serious.
It was very fresh, very refreshing, very cool, very real.
In as much as personal development in itself is not a novel concept, but our methodology and the way we go about our personal development sessions and motivational sessions are novel, they're unique, they're empathic, and they're generally different. And beyond, and this is why I can relate to the young adults, I have the ability to give them examples and use approaches that they can relate to, as opposed to if they were given maybe by somebody that comes from another generational climate.
As an adult or a young adult, it makes you realize that these things are not just there for you to read and pass. You read it, and every time, every waking moment, every working moment, every sleeping moment, you remember that there's a place you're going to, and there are things you need to do to get there, and you just don't get distracted.
The goal should always be important than the role. Look at that. The goal is more important than the role. The goal should always be more important than the role. You mentioned what the problem is in Nigeria. That is why it's a big problem. These are the things that at the end of the day, with time, our generation will change. Because the truth about it is that we are very learned people, our generation. Most times we are conscripted because of lack of opportunities. But these sorts of sessions are what we can use now to create opportunities for ourselves so that we can show what it is we can really do.
I find it very interactive, I find it very comforting, meaning I didn't feel I was in class, so I could learn better.
The facilitator was actually really exhaustive.
Okay.
It was wow. It was one of the best Oh, facilitator, I've seen.
It was insightful, way more than I expected. And I was like God speaking to me. So of course, I'm going to be a better person for it.
Very unique, thought-provoking and inspiring. I recommend everybody to participate in the session. It's something that is well worth the time.
The participants of the session come to what we call Personal Action Development Plans, PADPs, at the session. And it's from those Personal Action Development Plans that we now meet with them post-session, which we call our PSD meetings, post-session development meetings. And we now find out how far they're going in achieving those plans, where they intend to change course, the places that they experience difficulties, why do they think those difficulties are being experienced.
I took some personal decisions at the session, so I'm actually really excited. I want to see if I can actually pull them through, and hopefully at the end of the third post-session development meeting, I would be able to say, yes, I'm on the path to success.
But then we have our best-selling motivational success session, and it's titled Living the Simple Magic.
The session has 8 success tips, but the particular one, I heard something different from him, the parts where there's no such thing as failure.
Your ability to look at that as a stepping stone to something better in the future that brings about this principle that states there is no such thing as failure, because at the end of the day, our vision is at the end, for the end will justify the means. So if you look at a point during the means as failure, you will never get to the end. Now let's take, for instance, what Thomas Watson says. The formula for success is quite simple. Double your rate of failure. You are thinking of failure as the enemy of success, but it isn't at all. So go ahead and make mistakes, make all you can, because that's where you'll find success on the other side of failure. I'm sure we all agree that this is somebody who can talk about what it means to succeed.
There's a way he rolled failure, he made it sound so good. Failure is something necessary for you to succeed. Like, you cannot successfully succeed without having failed.
The last 1 year, I must say, has been exciting. And we can say that we've been able to speak to even the older audience, in as much as we focus on the younger, adults, teenagers and students. We've also had sessions for directors, for instance, in State Ministry of Agriculture, Ogun State. They were very, very thrilled. In fact, that during the session, we asked them, would you want a break? And everybody said no. And that was so encouraging, because they were so engrossed in what was being taught that they did not even want any break whatsoever. Now, research has shown that individuals who attend soft skills sessions and self-motivation sessions, such as those put forward by EMEDITH Consulting, perform significantly better than their peers.
I learned how to manage my time, how to become a professional, what it takes to be a professional, what it takes to be a leader. Understand? And I felt great. I felt like there's something in this world I've actually been missing, and it was nice.
For me, it was like an examination of conscience. It was an opportunity for me to go back and reflect and actually know that I have a long way to go and success is actually possible, it's within reach.
It's not like the motivational programs where you just hear and everybody disperses. You tell him you have to do something, you just have to do it. And you write it down, so he gets to urge you on, follow you, monitor your progress.
So we asked every parent who wants for their children the very, very best possible foundation to enroll them for one of our sessions, any session of their choice, and enable us give that child, that ward, the ability to shine.
Because for now, at least I have a plan. Whether or not it makes sense, I hope it does eventually. But for now, I can say, beginning from now, I'm already getting that shine experience. I can't just wait to start living some of the things that I learned at the session.
It's like making every day look like I have a purpose. I have to make everything I do today count, even if it is something as simple as eating. You just live the life and succeed while living it.
We live in a time where motivation is lacking. We live in a time where the average youth can come out, say, of university and not still have a job. We live in a time where people are dissuaded and people are basically just of low spirit. Now that is it. So we're all about empowering the youth. That is the foundational message we try to send, empower the youth. Because at the end of the day, we have to get ourselves going. We live in this society and we have to thrive in the society we live. Yes, we may say that this is not the best society to thrive in, but it's not the worst as well. So what are we about? We're about empowering the youth, empowering teenagers, empowering young adults. We're about enabling them maximize their potentials. We're about enabling them achieve their dreams. We're about enabling them shine.
EMEDITH Consulting.
Your power to shine.